Alright, let's start Dehya's story quest, Shade Upon Red Silk. Hey, Dehya.
Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list?
Yes, we are going shopping with Dehya.
Oh,
Let's go!
What a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some.
What, sorry? That wasn't on our list, was it?
We can still add it to the list.
You know, let's treat you.
The Traveler and Paimon.
Hey.
Wasn't expecting to see you here.
Dehya and
Hello there.
Dunyarzad,
It's been
hello.
quite a while.
It has.
So you two are still hanging out together. Dehya, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
She did say that.
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard. Not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends.
Hey, that's
The
cute.
Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
Fair
I
enough.
told Dehya to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dehya wasn't around.
That
She is
sounds
a good
like something
addition,
they would
though.
say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dehya. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
Yeah, can Dehya's story quest just
You know
us
I'm
be
not the
shopping
kind
with
of
her?
person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though. There'll always be next time.
Mm-hmm.
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dishes. Paimon can't believe you can still refuse that.
I mean, you just dive on anything
But
with
wait,
food.
Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today when you
Hey.
leave? There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
That's a good chance to have a visit. Might as well take it.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Yeah, true. There's probably a lot of change going on.
Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right,
She is
fine.
sweet, though.
To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately.
Oh?
Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Hey, calm down.
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Nah, she's seen right through
Did
you,
you
dear.
swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
Yeah, anytime you spent enough time around someone, they can easily see through you when you're lying. And it's pretty obvious Dehya is lying right now, so... yeah.
Oh, looks like Dunyarzad was onto something.
Spot on. Well done,
Too
Dunyarzad.
perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary
That's
life
fair.
is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady, you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right.
Might as well just tell
I'll
her
share
at this
what
point.
I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion.
Though I am still wondering if...
Okay,
Oh.
let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention.
Yeah, so I do wonder if this is going to be... this story quest is going to tell us where Dehya got her weapon from, since we've seen that in the trailer. I hope they just don't, like, breeze over it and be like, oh yeah, this is a new weapon now.
As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure.
Yep.
Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave.
I think that's the first time
However,
I've heard
not
that
all
name, right?
Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of Mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Deshret's Relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
King Deshret.
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar.
Yes,
They're
sir.
one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control.
Ah, I see.
On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dehya al-Akmar.
The canal.
Khan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years. Anyway, the real issue is that Dehya al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusayla.
Oh.
Say what now?
Oh,
I
okay.
think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now.
Wow.
But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Ah.
Hundreds.
Yep. The
Dia's
scenes tend
father.
to be quite gruesome,
I
too.
see.
They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them.
Oh, God.
Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
What dicks.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's Relic sees it. All I do know is that Dehya al-Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years.
Getting too
If I don't do
greedy.
something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic.
Damn.
But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
Won't surprise me if the Abyss or some sort of third party influenced him.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women.
One of those.
Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
How Dehya was born from someone like that and came out like this is an absolute miracle. Dehya is such a sweetheart. Oh, shit. I forgot to turn back the sound. Apologies.
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
Oh, that's shitty.
I'm sorry, Dehya.
Oh, stepped on a landmine
I
there.
didn't know.
Jesus.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person.
Oh,
He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd
Oh, that's
say,
sad.
"You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade.
wow.
The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale.
I can't
There
tell
were
if he's
tales
just
of
like...
desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
Yeah.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around. But after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull.
Yeah, they tend to
He
do
seemed
that.
to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play.
I don't know, that's actually pretty cute though. See, I'm kind of getting mixed feelings out because I feel like he tried to be a good dad, but he might have started out as like trying to be a good dad, but eventually he started getting corroded into, started to go down the path of being a terrible father figure, you know?
Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords. It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
Ah, okay.
What an interesting guy.
I retract my statements. But again, it doesn't sound like he had all bad intentions.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish. But that was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him.
Just like a man-child
Until
then,
I
isn't
grew
he?
up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself.
Ah.
Looting, blackmail, violence, and
Ooh,
fraud.
okay.
They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them.
Nah.
No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good.
Yeah, so it just seems like her dad tried to put on a fake front to try and be a good father, I guess.
I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me.
Yeah, that's respectable. You just wanted to find out why they started causing so much more trouble.
Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information
You're
as they
the
could.
boys.
Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
Oh?
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is.
Most likely,
but
yeah.
every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Yeah, true.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
I'll be Dia's bodyguard, alright? I'll help her out.
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
I want to beat up people.
Well, she's super tough, so if she went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem will be solved in no time.
Thank you, Paimon, for backing me
I'm
up.
inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took her along to help.
You can count on me. I'll do my best.
I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
Okay.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady.
God, these
All
two
right,
are
then let's
too
get
cute.
moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can
Yay.
catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
Though I am really excited to see the cutscenes. Rather it be a fighting cutscene or Dia's backstory. Just any type of cutscene, one of those two,
Please
I'm
be
fine
careful. I'll stay in the city and wait for news from you. Just don't do anything reckless, alright?
with. You wholesome bean. I shall protect Dia. Hello, fellas.
Hey, Dehya, you're back. Are these two friends of yours?
Hey, Harren. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'll trust Dia with my life.
Oh, so you've already become like one of us then?
I think that
that's
goes.
good to know.
I think that goes for most
Anyway,
people in
since
the
we've got a
community.
newcomer, let me fill you in on what the Khan al-Ahmar's been up to lately. They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
I wonder if they got like some sort of
Even the most
item that
ferocious beasts still protect
corrupted
their own.
them.
But it sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market. A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
Jesus.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade with them. We were able to learn a few things from the exchange.
Hey, that's kind of
Rather than
respectable.
saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret's relics. If their only goal is Mora, they could have gone after anybody.
Yeah.
The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. It seems they're also trying to keep things under wraps.
I can't really think of a reason why they would have a power struggle, though. I mean, we don't really have enough information to go off at the minute, so.
Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as the Khan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
They were able to cause so much damage? That somehow makes things even more confusing.
It sounds mighty strange to me too. Haroon, you can leave the rest of the investigation to us.
Yeah, so I feel like what might have happened is they probably obtained like an item maybe that's made them go a bit insane or more crazy. That's currently one of the theories I'm
Gotta say
thinking
though,
of.
I didn't expect you to go on a whole
Yeah.
undercover mission during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were really putting your necks on the line, no?
Yeah, the whole mercenary thing is pretty
it was
impressive.
nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation as you are. The Khan al-Ahmar is your father's crew after all.
What he said. Besides, Dehya, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined? What we did is nothing compared to your experiences.
Why they hiding this
Yeah.
guy? Okay.
And while they went to talk with Khan al-Ahmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked. Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf. You're here too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Ribat.
I'm not gonna remember their
Although
names.
this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from her.
I will bat you.
Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest easy.
Okay,
Hey,
solid.
what about Paimon? Feel anything special?
Oh, you're also planning to tag along with them?
Yeah, do you feel anything evil coming from her?
Of course! Paimon is the traveler's most important guide. Wherever she goes, Paimon will follow.
Yeah, we love you, Paimon.
In that case, then you'd better take care of her too, Dehya.
Don't underestimate Paimon!
Oh, come on, Paimon, don't delude
Don't
yourself.
worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many battles as the traveler here.
Yeah, because she hides
Even
behind
if
us.
she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
Hey, luck is power too.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Yeah.
Oh, one other thing, Dehya. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Mane. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough, unkempt guys. The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Oh, poor guy.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment though. You're our brigade's main selling point after all.
Which is valid.
If only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members into our ranks.
Hey, you only need Dehya. Alright. Easy selling point.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch of scarecrows. The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that,
Oh,
they
come
both
on,
told me they were
guys.
too uncomfortable to stick around.
Oh, the botched it.
Didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that, and you weren't even gonna tell me?
All right, all right.
God.
We can tell you about it later.
Okay,
Now's not the
I
time.
like these guys.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Oh, they're a bunch of
Are
dogs.
they always like this?
Okay, they're good people.
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds.
This is definitely a group that I wouldn't mind joining. It's same with Beto's group. They all just seem like a wholesome bunch of dorks that I would love to join.
If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them
What
to a
was
fight.
that?
But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being direct and getting it all out of your system as soon as things come up is better than keeping everything bottled up, never talking about it.
I bloody love these guys.
That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh. If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get used to it. Though, I can never do that when I'm with the Homayanis. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Holloff? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. I drew up a map. Right here is the spot. There you'll find the merchant caravan responsible for getting rid of Dekhan al-Akhmar's looted goods.
Hey, good
All
job.
you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
Will do. You stay safe, Dia.
Yeah, I kind of want to meet the whole group, to be honest. They seem to bounce off each other very well.
Now, like I said, the two ladies Dia brought with her were also like super mercs. I'm talking same level as Flame Mane here.
Oh shit,
You
really?
should have seen it. The aura of the two of them when they were standing together, it was incredible. I was just at a loss for words. That's
Oh wow, you guys really blundered that.
So pathetic.
Hey! Shut up!
Okay, but like 3 deers all in like one area? Okay, I kind of understand that. I don't blame them too much.
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time.
Alright, let's go jump some geezers.
It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so let's all be careful.
Shit, I
Don't
do
worry,
not have the right
she
team
knows
on.
her way around a fight.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy.
Understandable.
After all, we still need to get information out of them.
I mean, a few broken limbs.
Here they come. You ready?
Yeah, let's
Let's
jump
not
them.
give them a chance to react and end this quickly.
Can you give me a demo, dear? My dear, thank you.
You great.
Easy, man. Hello. Sato.
You're the Flame Mane.
Yes, sir.
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dekhan al-Akhmar now? Tell me, what are they after?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
All right. Boom.
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools like, I don't know, your limbs or eyes?
That's what I
You've
suggested.
got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
I mean, we've already seen Dia's demo, alright? We know how brutal she can be.
Whoa!
It's alright, Primon. She knows what she's doing.
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way. 2 seconds.
Oh, damn.
I'll save you the trouble.
Oh, damn. Did he just...
Huh? Are you crazy?
Did he just bite his tongue?
He tried to bite off his own tongue.
Oh, shit.
Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies.
I mean... Fair enough, innit?
I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
Oh, okay.
Why would he be so extreme?
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
I wonder if he's in a it might be a case where he's in a situation where, like, if he talks, he's gonna die. So it's like, okay, if I'm gonna die, I might as well do it myself.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further. What should we do?
Yeah, he isn't gonna talk. There's
Yeah,
no point.
Don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. He might just hurt himself again if we start asking.
True.
There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something. I'm really sorry.
Oh. Hey, this is important.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look.
A ledger?
If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dekhan al-Akhmar right here. Kusayla, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti.
Takriti. What a name.
All familiar names. Dakhan al-Akmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well.
Ah, back to
This
canned
caravan
knowledge.
is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person
Okay.
will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakhan al-Akmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
That's kind of sussy.
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
Yeah, that's suspicious. Probably delivering a really important item. Maybe the Mora amounts just happen to cancel out each other. Probably not.
Perhaps, but they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all? Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. There are a lot of entries. Everything was probably sourced from the rainforest. Huh?
What you found out now?
What's wrong?
It's just a bunch of huns after another.
Shahzaman Homayani?
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzad's family?
Oh, the plot thickens.
Could it just be another family with the same last name?
No, sir.
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shahzaman Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Homayani family.
Uh-oh.
What the heck is going on here?
Calm down, dear. Let's analyze the situation first.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions just yet. But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dakhan al-
What if the
Oh, shit.
Homayanis have
I
been
was-
kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dakhan al-Akmar?
Accidentally continued the conversation. I don't know. That's definitely not the case that's going to be happening. It's rather they're both terrible people or they're trying to do good and they're just playing the villain kind of situation.
That's a possibility. But if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shahzaman as their person of contact? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Ribat or Port Ormos.
If he was actually aware of this, then perhaps he's been supplying the brigade's operations this entire time.
Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
Interesting, okay.
Why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homayanis are in need of money.
I honestly have no idea.
Yeah, there's something
Been to their
deeper
estate
going on.
many times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar.
True.
Maybe they borrowed a lot of Mora in the past, but that's still just a speculation. I don't think the master would stoop so low to make Mora.
I don't think Dunyarzad knows anything about this either. Yeah,
You're
definitely
probably
not.
right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from us.
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
If you want to get to the bottom of this, we won't be able to turn back. Yeah, we need to go full dive into this mess.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support.
Yeah, there's too many different possibilities this can be.
If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dakhan al-Akmar.
Dehya, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
I've considered that possibility, but even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't tell her, you're betraying that trust. And if you do tell her and she does betray you, then she isn't a true friend. So,
She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion.
I don't see a world where Dunyarzad betrays Dehya. It's literally impossible.
That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon to trust Dunyarzad too.
I hope we'll be of help to her.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
Yeah, hopefully she's not being kidnapped.
We're back, my lady.
Hello.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
A guy bit his tongue
Actually,
off.
we're still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
That too.
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
To you.
Something like that. Yeah.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all. Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up?
About
It's
that.
okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
So something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet.
My lady, how do I say this? We both have terrible fathers.
On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, Dunyarzad, we're back!
Yeah, seems about right.
So tell me, what happened?
Well?
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
The Master? You mean my father? Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can.
No, not the wholesome Dunyarzad, man.
My father has
No.
been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
That feels very unlikely, though.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
I feel like we're missing a very big puzzle piece. At the minute, there's just too many different routes it can go as to the reason why they're doing this.
Thank you for sharing all this information with me.
You're welcome.
Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while.
Ah, she did
the
know some
past,
things.
I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dehya?
That is a valid point.
About that, well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts. Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards. He offered me a pile of mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or
Nah.
maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought.
We're just kind of pulling out straws here.
I think I get what you're saying. You'd think none of this was a coincidence.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense.
Yeah, we're missing too much
If my father
information.
had always been in contact with Dakan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dehya into our house.
You mean
True?
the goal all along was to get Dehya to be your bodyguard?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
Yeah, see, I just get this feeling that her dad, Dehya's dad is just trying to do the best for her. Like, he might be a terrible person, yes, but he's trying to be a good dad, essentially.
So, the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
No, he's definitely playing a part. That's what things are looking like at this point.
Sorry we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you.
Yeah, sometimes that's the best thing you can do.
Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
True.
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same.
I don't know, those feelings are valid.
However, the Homiyani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homiyani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
I know, but just because someone treats you kindly, you can't ignore all the bad things they've done. You see that a lot in friendships, is you could be friends with someone for a very long time, and then when they do something really fucked up, you'll feel more inclined to forgive them. It's just kind of one of those situations.
Tia.
It's alright, Dia. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
Aww.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was the thing about friendship again?
True friendship is built on trust.
Right, yeah, trust. You said that yourself, Dia. Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
If your trust hasn't been misplaced, then he probably has many conflicted feelings as well.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should always remember the trust that I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, could you ask the master to come out and have a chat with us?
Oh.
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation.
We get to see.
Let's meet at the usual place then.
We get to see Dunyarzad's
usual
dad. Ah.
Ah, right.
Ah, yes, the spot where
Thank you
Dunyarzad
for
sat on
coming,
the
sir.
bench.
Please allow me to introduce
Ah.
these two. This is the Traveler, and next to her is her travel companion, Paimon.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Ah, yes, my daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Shazaman. Shazaman. Probably gonna be butchering his name a lot.
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
He explains the issue to Jamzan.
So, that's what you found. Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
Yeah, give us the puzzle
If you wouldn't
piece we're
mind,
missing.
we'd like an explanation.
Yes.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dia, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
I know, but knowing the truth is normally better than not.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see me. And I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing.
I feel like what I said earlier was true, that Dia's dad is just trying to play the villain. He's doing all these terrible things, but is just trying to let Dia live a good life, I guess.
But knowledge always comes at a price. And sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusayla, and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you. The facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself
Wow.
into sand, blowing in the wind.
It's that bad,
If you
eh?
must proceed, then Kusayla's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but
Yep.
I'm not sure I follow.
Called it.
I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support.
That's,
I
yeah.
have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him.
I feel like he was just, like, doing all these things in the background to support her.
I came here today to support you as the head of the Homiyani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story.
Okay.
Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support. Those Eremites were Kusayla's brigade, Dehya al-Ahmar. Kusayla's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dehya al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusayla was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Aw.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father.
Yeah, okay.
To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time and offered everyone generous remuneration.
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again.
Oh.
I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door.
Sucks that they gave him a very normal, generic NPC look. Oh well.
The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
Yeah, some...
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all.
Yeah, so it's rather he's kind of in a massive debt and he doesn't want to cause problems for Dehya and get her wrapped up in it. So he probably played a villain to have her run away and break up from that group whilst guiding Dehya in the background and making her live a good life.
He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar.
Yep.
There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house. But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dehya.
So he was the one who recommended Dehya to you.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life.
Like I
If
thought.
Dehya could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dehya as my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took. Kusayla saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
I had a feeling that her dad was just trying to do what was best. I mean, both their dads, to be honest.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusayla said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dehya's fees. I refused to take any more from him, but he'd always sent me funds anyway.
Oh.
Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago. The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Explosive materials. Yeah, I feel like they're going into ruins. They seem largely in debt for some reason.
Wait, isn't that around the time that Dehya al-Ahmar started becoming more aggressive?
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things. But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dehya at risk.
But by that same token, he should have also stopped asking you for materials.
That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to turn to.
Probably.
After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry.
Good choice.
I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help.
That's fair.
In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me feel least guilty about myself.
That's a common
If
thing
you can,
people do.
please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
Oh, don't say that. Come on.
Oh no. Dehya, please don't feel that way.
Yeah.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions.
Maybe there's another way of looking at all this. Can you try to believe in him just one more time? We've got a little bit of puzzle pieces, but we're still missing, like, the big one to piece it all together.
I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think I can do it.
That is
But
valid.
I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone. I don't know Kusayla's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I tried my best to avoid getting involved any further with him. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dekhan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusayla's whereabouts. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
Alright, let's jump
Understood.
him.
Thank you, sir. Then I guess this is bye for now, unless...
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot to take in. Like, oh yeah, my dad's, you know, fine. Now he's supplying a very aggressive mercenary group. You know, that can cause a bit of whiplash.
My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem.
Yeah.
I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Corps of 30 and let them render judgment.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
He's a good dude, you know? Like, it is just one of those situations where you don't know what to do, you know? Because it's like, oh, my friend is in a really terrible situation, but they're doing horrible things. Hey, Jarwood.
Huh? Who are you guys?
It's a pleasure to meet
I
you.
know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps? Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Shh. Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private.
Yeah. Your attitude changed quick.
This place should do. All right. Back to my question. How did you all know about me?
We have our ways.
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait. There's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
Tell us everything you know. And don't act all coy.
What's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusayla took good care of me in the past. I weighed it in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick Mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dekhan al-Akhmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of more from my last run. You just give me a number, and I'm sure.
No,
we can...
sir, you just said the wrong. You said the wrong
My
answer.
patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
Yeah, man, you missed all of the cues. Holy.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later.
Maybe.
They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Valid.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
I strangely like his
Now
voice.
that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
Dehya is godsend at negotiating, and if I was in this situation, I'd be like, okay, cool. All right, bro. You're valid enough. Are you good, my guy?
Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. I mean, go get yourself a drink, at least. Yep, they're gone already.
Seems like we're in luck.
Oh, no, they
That
are
should be
here.
their camp right up ahead.
Hey,
Let's
buzzing.
go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves.
Thank God we don't have to run around.
I'm here to see Kusayla. Tell him to get out here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Why are you here?
Hey, Tiaraki. I remember your name from last time. Bum, 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 bum.
Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, they're all here.
Oh, so are you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Well, it does. Sorry. Goodbye, Bashar.
He's getting condemned!
You, Blade!
You're a blade.
Look alive!
And you are done, sir.
She's so strong.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusayla to me. There's no use hiding him anymore. Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
That would be fun.
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dehya, the boss can't come out and see you anymore.
Oh.
He died a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Dropping that bombshell out of nowhere. Okay. Wow. You folks better not be lying.
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusayla broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
Ah, so they killed him. Okay. So that's why they turned on each other. It was all motivated by revenge.
Let me start from the beginning. Dehya, do you know how the head of the Relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record.
Record?
Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's Relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail.
So you mean Kusayla thought there was no escaping the records?
That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dehya and ended up joining our ranks.
Fascinating,
But you,
alright.
Dehya, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
Yeah,
You
so...
were probably the only person in all of Deshret's Relics who didn't know about it.
Yeah, so she was given a clean slate. He did everything he could to protect her.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters.
Wow.
But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
Man.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Man, that is fucked.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle?
That is valid.
When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
Wow.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more.
Wow, he's a fucking great dad. Holy.
His words made no sense to me, but that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and raised everyone's records to
Holy
ash.
shit.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well.
What a guy.
But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of the Khan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack.
Honestly, he is an absolute chad for doing that. Though there is a small possibility he's still alive.
Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end.
But Desolate's relics haven't been the only victims of your revenge.
There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies, from food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends.
Wow,
Thankfully,
okay.
many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles.
Yo, spite and revenge are powerful emotions.
Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike
Hey,
their headquarters.
can we join in on that?
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
Responding to violence with more violence will only cause more pain. Do you have any idea the amount of damage you've done?
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning.
Valid.
We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life.
I mean...
Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world.
He does seem like he was a wholesome guy. But it's also the fact that he gave them the chance to, you know, have a free record, and they kind of ruined all that. Which, like, I don't blame them, of course. When you have someone you look up to and respect and he just kind of dies like that, it's not easy to let that go. Especially when you're in, like, these kinds of groups, since respect is kind of what you build upon.
We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. We have no right to even imagine such an existence. But Maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause.
Aw.
Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dehya. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
Wow, yeah.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dehya? You wanna go with them?
Hey, I'm down for it.
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil.
Facts.
All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there.
Yeah,
I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Hey, I'm all for violence, alright? They deserve this. I'm on your side, dear.
Yeah. Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
Yeah, let's go
you.
beat up some
We'll be a
fucking
lot stronger
bitches.
together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Dehya's dad isn't dead. There's like a 50-50 chance he is and he isn't.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
I guess it all comes down to this.
Aye, it does.
What a bummer. I just had to get injured now, right before the final fight.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
Punch one of them for me, huh?
Will do, mate.
This the entrance? We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
Yeah.
Should be. I don't think they have enough manpower left to post guards and defend their perimeters.
Let's just take in this team. Let's just steamroll them. Why not? Plus, we'll get Dehya as well as a trial
Wow.
character.
Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
I do like this
Still,
environment, though.
We should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
I've fought through many situations like this before.
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means nothing now.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before.
Oh, damn. We actually get to fight alongside them. Nice. Hey, bitches.
Solidify!
Illusion shattered!
Flicker.
Oh, wait. I should probably use Dehya as well.
Buckle up!
Still don't know too much about these kids. I'm just kind of doing random shit. I ain't letting anyone die, boys. Easy.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Alright, lead the way, my guy. Ugh.
Wait, they went charging ahead without checking for any traps.
Alright. Bye, guys.
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Good luck, you guys.
Well, now that things have come to this, seems we'll have to fight our way through.
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. There could still be another way through.
Yeah, you just hear a massive explosion. Just, oh god, no, they're dead.
Let's go! We can't let the boss down!
Let's check if there's another way. The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better.
That looks important.
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Okay, let's go.
Let's get it. Change color. Ah, I see. Okay. Easy enough to understand.
Flicker.
Let's get it on! Ha!
Give me that chest.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
Okay.
Just need to adjust it a little.
Okay, we can rotate this. Gotcha. I see. There we go. Easy enough. There we go.
Buckle up!
Down. Alright.
You asked for it.
You asked for it. Fuck. Ooh, damn. Alright, dear. Ah, god. Here we go. This goes along here. Change that there. Change this to that. Then change this back to this. Bada bing, bada boom. It's that easy. Oh, this looks like a boss fight arena. Oh, I see that chest. Yes, sir.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side.
Michel.
But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Yeah.
Run. Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already.
Man, get out the light. You're not that guy. You're just gonna be a pushover, generic-looking NPC.
I witnessed the golden age of
Okay.
Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind,
He has a beard.
all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin. Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing.
Good for you.
The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory.
I will give you that.
Let us draw our weapons. We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers.
Okay.
They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the entirety of the relic's glory.
Well, 3, but alright. You know, you can't miss out
Wave
time on.
one, charge! Eliminate them!
So, alright. Alright, well done, guys.
We're just getting started.
Yeah, sure.
Let's get it on! Ha! Ha! Gloves off!
Now, King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers. Brothers! With me, this is where we'll prove our faith.
You're not that guy.
You all just want to die?
Yeah, beat the fuck out of them, dear.
Plan to leave this place alive!
Solidify!
Here you are.
But we'll meet again.
Easy enough.
The commander has finally fallen.
But they're still coming at us!
Alright, well, endless slaughter. Just keep bringing
This
them.
place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat!
Hey, I'll take it.
Yes, keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down! This is our last stand!
You're talking a lot of shit for someone that's just standing up there doing nothing.
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks.
Easy enough.
I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Alright, I'll leave it to you, dear. Oh, here comes the boys. Yes, sir. Oh, okay.
Get out of my way!
I thought it was only going to be one of them.
Come and face me, Michel! So they've broken through the front as well.
Ah, pathetic.
Apologies, Lord Michal. They fight like absolute madmen. No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more.
Hey, don't underestimate the boys. But...
So, it would seem like this is the end.
yeah.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Michel.
Yeah, fuck you, Michel.
You think I would give you that opportunity? I will be buried in the sand alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
Ah, it's gonna blow up the place. Everyone run.
Hey, wait!
Uh-oh. You good, my guy?
We were too late.
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
I'm sorry, what just happened? It's just... Good lads.
Hey, Dehya! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Hey, thank you, Tiggery. Oh.
Let's go.
Yes, give me that chair. Oh, that was close. Yeah. 10 Primo Gems, I'll take it.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics, and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead. How are we supposed to figure out what you're after?
I mean, that's pretty good for a bunch of rats, apparently.
Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusayla? Why would I know? It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
Oh, look at me.
This is your last chance to talk.
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
Valid.
Irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room? Answer me.
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean the one that got burned down?
Yes, sir.
Kusayla. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. The guy who could hardly walk.
That's
Watch your
him.
mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in.
My guy was like, oh yeah, I may not be able to walk well, but I'm burning your whole shit down. What a guy, going down in a blaze of glory.
But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records
Oh,
room.
he got away?
He couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Wow.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno. Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard these guys.
I wonder if he got any outside help. I don't think he was faking not being able to walk.
Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
Yeah, break the legs.
I've already told you everything I know. Can't you just leave me alone?
I don't know, you're just very punchable. Oh yeah, there's this guy who just kind of, you good, my dude?
So, this was his final destination.
Unless he didn't get away and he's still buried under here.
How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire?
Yeah, what a Chad.
If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Aw.
Dehya.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we
No.
can find something that's been left behind.
I don't like seeing Dehya like this. Stop. She's too sweet.
Is this a cane? It must be the one that Dehya's father used.
Kusayla.
Thanks for everything, boss.
Aw.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
A Chad like him?
Huh?
Or is there a... Oh. Yo, the drip though.
Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
Aw. That's so sweet.
The dragon is no
Aw.
more, for Princess Dehya has slain it. Its
Oh,
head
she
now
looks so
hangs above
cute.
the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dehya, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Dehya, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
Oh, it's so wholesome.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad.
Oh man, that was so good. The whole story was shared with the Corps of 30, which finally joined the investigation, and you do not give us enough time to read that. Come on, guys.
What's this?
That was super sweet. Though I do hope she keeps the cane. That actually looked really good on her. Got the gauntlets on the right hand and you just got the cane on the left. I'll be running if I saw that. We got you some snacks and drinks, all on Paimon's tab.
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money.
Oh yeah.
And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy.
Holy. She rarely spends her allowance on other people. It's really my treat, but you get the point.
Hey, this way you get something from the both of us for the price of one. Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy.
Yes, sir.
Dunyarzad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks, you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say.
Which, to be honest, yeah, that is fair. Imagine thinking the majority of your life that your dad is a terrible person, only to find out he's an absolute Chad who went down in a blaze of glory.
My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures. But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace. And I was left feeling more empty than ever before. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me.
Yeah, everything just happened way too fast.
Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere.
I guess that was the front they all put on, like, oh yeah, we always do this for Mara, but deep down they all had respect to one another, and they're like, alright, you fucked with one of us? Alright, bro, screw that, the true feelings are coming out.
My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different? Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth and nearly even shed tears for his sake. We're hypocrites, all of us.
I mean, maybe so, but you should never question your true feelings, though.
Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
Yeah.
You're back! Are all of you alright?
That is very true. Oh.
Ah, there she is.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dunyarzad.
Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict.
You'll probably get a light sentence.
Dehya, you're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
Yeah, once Paimon finished telling the story, Dunyarzad begins to cry.
Sorry.
Oh.
I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well.
God damn.
Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
But Dehya, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment.
Yeah.
That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life?
It's kind of hard to get rid of the roots where you came from, you know? They're always going to be lingering there.
However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am, and I will never be able to lead a peaceful existence.
I understand how you feel.
The fact that she was put in that environment made her become who she is. She's not like merciless, she cares for other people, though she can be very brutal when the time calls for it.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some
Aw.
small odd jobs. It's
Okay.
just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
It's always more fun when everyone's together.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
Any day, dear. Any day. Oh, I thought that might have been the end.
Oh, this rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also of high quality.
Why do I feel like her dad's gonna appear?
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey, aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can still talk?
Yeah, guy, I hope you're doing
Are
well.
you here to take revenge on us?
Why would he?
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be on my way to give myself up to the Corps after this. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence. But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Oh, good for you.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusayla. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same.
Good on you, mate.
One of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that it
Ah,
contained
okay.
some of the old man's last possessions. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
Thank you.
No worries.
Thank you,
We're
Sata.
all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
So this box contains everything that Dia's father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside.
Probably gonna be a photo.
What's this?
Oh.
It's just a bunch of junk.
Maybe not.
Ugh, it kinda stinks.
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's
Wait.
already yellowed,
Okay.
and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
That probably means this was really important to him.
The hero
Ah.
book, probably.
And here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated. Maybe that's where the smell was coming from.
These mercenaries aren't really known for, you know, being of the smart kind, so he probably didn't really think for the future on what might happen to the things he's packaged.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip? Why are these things here?
Her mother?
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped any and everything in there. 2 empty liquor bottles.
Okay.
Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
He is an interesting man.
Huh? There's something in the bottle!
A note or a picture?
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't really matter. To Dehya. It's a letter for me?
You don't need to read it out loud. Much as I really want to hear it, it's also personal.
It's all right. I'll just read it
Yes.
out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
If we're going by the
condition's
trend.
becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group.
Oh.
But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault. He was never up to any good.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
Fucking bombshells everywhere. Holy shit. Okay.
Wait, what?
Surely, he must be joking, right?
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young,
Okay.
and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day and discovered a baby in the sands. It was you.
Oh.
You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy.
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice.
My God,
I was
this
their most
hurts.
esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father.
This hurts a lot.
At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, Dehya, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
Man, may not be her real father, but goddamn did he did the best job he could. For the life he lived, he fucking did an amazing job.
That's the end of the letter.
What a
In the
guy.
end, he was still thinking of me as a little child.
But isn't that also a good thing?
I suppose, or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
True.
Yeah, it's just a pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
And it was the same when I was playing the Archon quest a few, like, 10 hours ago. They always come in with the music at the worst times. Like, come on, man. I'm already feeling emotional. Don't do this.
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me.
A
I
valid.
just have one wish. To tell them a story. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
Yes,
If you
dear.
end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
Hey, we go wherever you go, dear. I also don't want to see his efforts go to waste.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, what an
My life has
amazing guy.
certainly had its
Holy.
twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
Well, that's because of your character as well. Lionsblood completed. Wow, alright. Yeah, dear, an amazing character with an amazing dad. That end part really hit me in the feels. And I've always been a big fan of, like, these kind of situations where people are tied by blood. They've come together in, like, their own groups and formed their own family. It's always just been, like, a thing that kind of hits me. What a Chad, though, honestly. Going down in a blaze of glory, even though his body was in, like, a really terrible, state. Able to achieve that much is just fucking phenomenal. And also, seeing Dehya as a kid was adorable, and seeing her finish the end of the play at the end with the cane and the sword just added onto it. So, really enjoyed this quest. Ever since Dehya was first introduced, I really wanted to know more about her backstory, and now that we have a little bit more of it now, the lore that we're going to get from her friendship levels, super excited to learn more about her.